Welcome back to the West Ham Network. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on what part of the world you're watching from. This is your all you need to know ahead of the Aek Larnaca versus West Ham United game in the Europa Conference League round of 16, first leg away in Cyprus. Kickoff is 5:45 in the UK, 7:45 in Cyprus. Of course, we will be bringing you today's match day content, so make sure you do join us on the channel where we are going to be covering all the predicted 11. We're going to be giving you the pre-show before the match day live, so make sure you do come on and join us for that content as well. But we resume European football on Thursday evening when we make our first ever visit to Cyprus. Now, we topped our UEFA Conference League Group B with a record 6 wins out of 6 back in November, defeating Silkeborg of Denmark, RSC Anderlecht of Belgium, FCSB of Romania, home and away to collect a perfect 18 points, becoming the first club in the competition's 2-year history to do so. And having topped our group, David Moyes' side was spared the need to contest the knockout playoff round, which saw 8 teams which finished second in the Europa Conference League groups, paired with 8 who finished third in the UEFA Europa League groups and went straight into the round of 16. And among them was our opponents for today, Aek Larnaca. So here, first and foremost, is everything you need to know ahead of the game this evening. There you go. There's some information for you regarding Aek Larnaca. What do you think of that? What do you think of the information there? I mean, our first ever opponents in European football in Cyprus and their first ever English opposition as well. It will make for a very interesting game, as I personally am looking for a big reaction to the Brighton game and looking for that momentum going in to the game in the Premier League. Again, like I said, make sure you do join us later on because we'll be giving you our predictive 11. But we're not finished here for your morning show. And I do apologize if you are watching in the morning because that noise would have been rather loud. I'll need to turn that volume down for you. But we are going to go into a little bit of content coming out from Jonty, of course, our partnership with Football London, who is, of course, across in Cyprus, giving us an update, especially from the fact that he was inside the press conference talking to a certain David Moyes and Aaron Creswell. I'll hand you over to Jonty and he'll give you his feedback on the press conference as well.
At the West Ham Network, welcome to this video from my balcony here in Larnaca. Just did a quick video here off the back of speaking to David Moyes earlier this afternoon ahead of today's game, tomorrow, against Aek Larnaca in the first leg of the round 16 Europa Conference League. So yeah, we spoke to him earlier this afternoon. I think it was a press conference on Zoom. I think it was from the airport, just before they flew out. The plan originally was to do it over here as per normal in UEFA matches, but I think due to the length of the flight and there's like a certain time slot, I think you have to do it in between. It just didn't match up with the travel plans, so they did one on Zoom just before flying out. Team news wise, it's largely pretty good actually for West Ham. Mikel Antonio and Tina Kehrer obviously missed the game at Brighton on Saturday. They're both back in the squad following the illness Kehrer had and the injury to Antonio. Ogbonna's also in the squad, despite going off with a slight knee issue against Brighton, but it was only a precaution. Maxwell Cornet is also in the squad, although it's unlikely he'll play. Moyes says he's kind of just hating to be back in and around the squad. Doesn't really expect him to play all that much before after the international break in April. So, well, the international break this month and then return, which is next month. So yeah, that's on the team news. So as far as we're aware, unless there's been any fresh setbacks that haven't been talked about, it's only Fabianski and Dufal that will miss the game here in Cyprus tomorrow. So yeah, from a squad point of view, pretty good. David Moyes spoke. All that is up on Football London, as does an interview with Aaron Cresswell. Spoke about really wanting to go well in this competition. Obviously, they had a brilliant run in the Europa League last year, but we want to go one step further than that this year and go in the competition. Cresswell said very much the same. When we spoke to him, we spoke briefly about obviously the last time West Ham were in a knockout match in Europe, he got sent off. So he's one of those from last season wanted to avenge that and hopefully go and win a European trophy this year. David Moyes certainly thinks that West Ham are definitely a contender, but they've said they're not going to write off Larnaca, despite being aside from Cyprus, not having the biggest European pedigree compared to some of the other clubs still in the competition, such as West Ham, for example, and Lazio and Villarreal and other teams like that. So yeah, it should be a very interesting one. Be interested to see how strong David Moyes goes actually. I mean, the fact that as far as we're aware, no one's been sort of rested for the trip or anything. It looks like a pretty strong squad going, including Declan Rice and Nev Gerd, Danny Ings, all of those among those who have been pictured on social media on the plane today. So yeah, it could be very, very interesting. For those of you back in the UK, it's a 5:45 kickoff. If you're out here in Cyprus, it's a 7:45 tomorrow. So if you have made the trip out, having a great time and have a game to look forward to tomorrow night. But yeah, that's it from me. As I say, as always, plenty to look at on Football London for today. From the press conference, talking about tomorrow's game, plenty of previews in the build up to tomorrow, and then we'll be live from the ground. So stay tuned to that, and yeah, I'll see you all next time.
Thanks to John T from Football London, of course, giving us that little bit of extra insight into the press conference and his thoughts ahead of the game this evening against Aek Larnaca. Now, listen, like I said, join us for the predicted 11 show. We'll be going through who we think will start the game. It's going to be a tough one to decide who's going to be in the starting 11. And then, of course, join us for the match day live and, of course, the reactions after the game. Like I said, we're looking for reaction, and we need to get that momentum started, get the confidence up on the lead into the Aston Villa game, because we certainly need something better than what we've been witnessing a lot recently. Anyway, like I said, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, give us your comments, give your interest in becoming a channel member, then check that out as well. Thank you for watching. And of course, come on, you Iron.